What is going on, guys? This is the Inside the Brew podcast, episode number 22, and tonight we're breaking down the New York Yankees. Once again, we talk about the Yanks and, in particular, their series against the Tampa Bay Rays, and also we'll break down a little bit of the Toronto series that's even going on as this video is going up. And, the Yankees, did a good job against the AL East leading Tampa Bay Rays. We went into this series, kind of expecting to lose this series. I mean, taking a split is okay. It's not the end of the world. Would I have liked to take 3 out of 4? Of course, for sure, but they just weren't able to. And, the Yankees have, been pretty good against the Tampa Bay Rays this season. They're 3-4 against them, but 6 of the last 7 games have been decided by only 1 run. So, the offense has been there against the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen is significantly worse against the Yankees other than any MLB team. I mean, the numbers are there, and the Yankees have done a good job against, the bullpen. It's just been, keeping the Rays off the scoreboard. I mean, losing that 8-2 game was really a brutal one to lose, and, not being able to, take care of the series as well was something as well. But, the Yankees in one of those games overcame a 6-0 deficit with McClanahan on the mound, and he's one of the best pitchers in the MLB. So to do that, really good job by the Yanks. Aaron Judge coming up clutch. He's been outstanding in these stretch of games. I mean, he's doing a good job in Toronto right now. I mean, he's smashing pieces off the stadium, and he's even getting criticism from people, the media, not necessarily New York media, more of Toronto, and the broadcasters have been saying a lot of things. Have been, his eyes, and, was he looking at the dugout? Was he looking at the first base coach? Are they stealing signs? You name it. But, I don't think Aaron Judge needs any help, to be honest. He's a guy that went out last year, hit 62 home runs, and this year he's really doing a good job in this series, and he doesn't need help. He doesn't need, banging trash cans or anything. He knows what to do at the plate, and that's why he's the best offensive weapon the Yankees have. They're doing a good job. 9 in the last 10 games, they've scored 6 or more runs. Another also good news, Luis Severino is slated to pitch against the Cincinnati Reds, so that'll be interesting. But it's a good sign to see after we saw Domingo Germán get taken out in that Blue Jays game for using foreign substances, and that's a brutal blow. Germán was doing a really good job at his role, and now to lose him is really a big blow. And it's 10 games, but you just don't want to see that from Germán. I think earlier in his Yankee stuff, he had a problem, and now he has another problem. So, I mean, it's been really weird with Domingo Germán. And also, the umpire even said that was one of the more sticky hands he has seen. But, now that really questions me. If he got caught with the foreign substance now, was all of that good pitching, luck or, skill? We don't know, but I mean, it's interesting and maybe even a question to ask if that was that type of stuff. But the Yankees offense has been there pretty much for that Toronto series. I mean, they got a chance to win the series tonight. They're winning right now as I'm recording this video. Nestor Cortes just got pulled. I mean, that's a really good job from the Yanks. And a good job from Nestor. Talking about Nestor Cortes is he has not been really able to get past that 4th, maybe 5th inning. I mean, his first 4 or something innings, he's got like under a 2 ERA, but after that, it is not good for Nestor Cortes. And that was a guy that could honestly go in, super long lengths of games last season with the Yankees. But, this year is a different Nestor this year. And I think Nestor will be fine. It's still a small stretch of games, and his ERA is high, and batters are doing a really good job against Nestor Cortes Jr. Also, Rodon is hopeful to pitch in June. Stanton's coming back soon, so those are two guys that, happy to see them back on the team. Tommy Kahnle is scheduled to start his rehab after having bicep tendonitis. So you're getting some good players back, and to get Kahnle back soon is huge because the Yankees bullpen, Ian Hamilton just went down with I think a groin injury, and he was pitching well. The Yankees really have to utilize their bullpen really well and not overuse them in a way, because you don't want a tired Peralta or a tired King or a tired Holmes or a tired Ron Marinaccio, and putting them at risk of injury, because that's the last thing the Yankees need. They already have a dozen people injured on this squad right now, and injuries have been climbing everywhere. It's been brutal to say the least. And I think the Yankees just need to find a way to get out of this injury slump. I think just injuries have been too bad for this team, and it's been an ongoing problem. But I think a guy from that bullpen, though, that has been really good has been Clay Holmes. I mean, this guy has done a really good job after, being pretty bad. And, he was really bad. Like, this is a guy that is allowing a lot of hard hit balls and a lot of balls in play. And, that's not necessarily Holmes' game. Holmes' game is mainly to get, ground balls. And his ground ball percentage was low. I think it's getting up now. And, he's starting to find himself a lot lately, and that's good. Getting Clay Holmes back to his normal form is really good. And for an example, I mean, Garrett Cole, they decided to give him another inning, and it did not go as planned. George Springer got a single. I think Bo Bichette got on as well. And Clay Holmes gets out of it. And that's the Clay Holmes I remember acquiring from the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's the guy that I trust into any batter and dominate. And his last 7 innings, 0 earned runs, 11 Ks, 3.63 ERA now, and he's done a really good job. But now let's get to the hot and cold segment. New thing on this podcast, we're going to be breaking down players that have been staying hot and players that are starting to go cold. And in particularly, to go on the hot, let's talk about Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo has looked like one of the best first basemen in the league right now. Entering tonight's game, he had a .302 batting average, 9 home runs, and 23 RBIs. And, the Yankees re-signed Anthony Rizzo last year, got him a nice extension. They judge, and he's been outstanding. Anthony Rizzo, he's benefited from that short porch, but he's still been putting the ball in play and, scoring runs. That's what we brought in Anthony Rizzo to do, play elite defense and provide a nice lefty bat. There's not too many lefties in this lineup that can hit as close to Anthony Rizzo. If we're being honest, I think Anthony Rizzo is an own tier, with his lefty power. I don't think Oswaldo Cabrera, who we're about to break down, I don't think Jake Bauers compares to him. Obviously, I don't think Aaron Hicks, any lefty batter, Willie Calhoun. And talking about Oswaldo Cabrera, I need to see more production out of Oswaldo Cabrera. I need more production out of him. He doesn't have a bad bat. It's just he's been cold. We look at the numbers versus lefties and righties. Versus lefties, he's got an OPS of 532 in 37 plate appearances. 3 runs, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. He's batting .171 and an on-base percentage of .189. And we compare that to his righties. I mean, they're not much better, but his OPS is a .583. He's batting against righties more often. He's got 104, 11 runs, 1 home run, 9 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, .215 average, .282 on base percentage, and a .301 slugging. So, those are the numbers for Oswaldo Cabrera. I know that's a mouthful, but it just shows that he has not been, I don't want to say a reliable player, because he definitely is. He's a really good defender, and I think that's more of Cabrera's game is defense. I don't think his bat is as good as his fielding. We could throw Oswaldo Cabrera anywhere. You could throw him in left field, right field, infield. He's a really good utility player. I just want to see more from the bat from him. And we love Cabrera. He's a really good guy in the locker room, and he seems like a nice guy to talk to as well. But the Yankees, I said it before, the Rays and Toronto series is a huge series if they want to keep, honestly, their season alive and, stay in the running. Because if they really, slid down and did not play good against these two teams, it would be honestly a long shot to even make the wild card, in my opinion. But, you got the Reds after this series against the Jays. You're going to see Severino pitch. You're going to see a lot of good baseball, I think, in the future. And I think this is a start. I think the offense is really starting to get going. I think Judge, I really expect a bounce back after a rough start. A rough start for the Yanks. I know that's not what Aaron Boone envisioned. I didn't think Brian Cashman either. I didn't think we were going to get a mouthful of injuries at the start of this season. I did not expect that at all. I mean, it's been an ongoing trend with the Yankees, but it's just weird. Injuries have been just a problem with this team. Because I think if this team was really healthy, Rodon was pitching, once every 5 starts. If Severino was healthy, if you had that bullpen consisting of Scott Efros, even Luis Heel, Tommy Kahnle. Like, if we lived in a perfect world and everybody was healthy, I would totally see this Yankee squad battling with probably the Rays for that number 1 spot and not having to worry about, maybe getting a wild card spot. But we're still early. Don't put your heads down at all. My head is still up high. I still fully expect this team to be contending for a World Series, whether they're at a wild card spot to start or, they're where they should be at the top of the division. But nonetheless, this has been the Inside the Booth podcast. I've been your host, Vin. Stay tuned for more episodes, and as always, stay safe out there, guys. Peace.